Oh, okay. Oh, we're being recorded. Okay.
When did Zoom start saying that? It didn't used to say that, did it?
No, it didn't. It just started like maybe 2 weeks ago.
We fancy now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Why doesn't it give you like a timer? Where's the timer at so I can write down when to start it? Oh, well, I'll figure it out when I get ready to edit it. All right, so today we are here interviewing Miss LaVonne Bost-Barksdale, top producing agent in the Bronx. Super duper excited. LaVonne is a unicorn. She is very successful in what she does, and she holds down a full-time job. So before I get started with LaVonne, I'm going to have her introduce herself, but I also want her, before we forget, first and foremost, to let the audience know where they can find you at, LaVonne.
Okay, so I'm LaVonne Barksdale. I'm in New York City. I live in the Bronx, but I service the Bronx, Westchester, and Connecticut. So if you need anything in those areas, definitely let me know, and we will, get together, and I can do what I can to assist you. That's it. So Andrea, I think you should introduce yourself as well. Tell everybody where you're from.
Hello, everybody. I'm Andrea Harden. I am in the Central Florida area. I cover anywhere from Orange to Seminole, Volusia, to the coast also. So whatever your Central Florida needs are, whether it's in the city or out to the coast, I cover it all. So contact me, and we will drop all of our information in the box when we upload this video.
Definitely, definitely. So I think we decided we're just going to do a tag team. So Andrea's going to ask me a question. I'm going to answer, then she's going to answer the same question so that we don't miss any of the questions and you guys get the answers from both of us.
Yep.
So take it away. I'm ready when you are.
Yeah. First and foremost, LaVonne, give them a little bit of background before I ask the first question. The basic, how long you been in real estate? What drew you to real estate? That's good.
So I've had my license since 2017, but I really didn't start practicing real estate until 2019. What drew me to real estate, honestly, was because I had started a not-for-profit, and my intention was to open up homes for veterans. So I have a whole turn off my phone. I'm sorry. I have a whole not-for-profit organization called Veterans Speak that is geared towards, helping veterans that are homeless, and it's going to turn into supportive housing at some point. That was my whole goal, was so I could be on the inside and find properties and do this, that, and then it turned into, I actually love real estate and it's actually fun. So I started doing it in mostly part-time, but really kind of full-time. And so that was my main motivation for getting into the business. And then it just turned into something else at the, in the process. So
awesome. Love it.
And what was your reason for getting into real estate? How long have you been in it?
Yeah, so I got my license in January. I started the last week of January. So in January 2021. So I've been almost 6 months now. And the reason, we have very similar reasons, is because my husband and I are both veterans. I'm an Air Force veteran, and my husband's a Navy veteran. And the entire time we were in the military, unfortunately, we did not purchase a home, and both of us have VA loans to use. So since we both are using our VA loans, but I want to be able to teach people in the military, especially if they're active duty, how they can get out, and they can not even get, before they get out, while they're still active duty, they can capitalize on the benefits and use their resources to be able to save for retirement. So when you get out, you don't just have your military benefits, which are awesome, don't get me wrong, but had we known what we know now, we could have been millionaires. We could have gotten out of the military and had millions of dollars in real estate. So I really want to educate military, but also just our family and to include, you know, just our community to really help people understand the benefits of home ownership, not just having a roof over your head, but to build equity and to build generational wealth
Yeah,
for your family. Yep.
that is a great idea. That's a great idea. That's gonna go take a lot of people really far
Yeah,
because there's
yeah.
people out
I'm
there who
praying so
probably
for
don't
sure.
know.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, definitely.
So here we go. Let me get into the first question here. What's one thing you wish you had known when you began your career?
Um, I always say there's a lot they don't teach you in real estate school. So I wish I had like real estate school really just teaches you how to stay out of jail because they don't teach you the ins and outs of like listings and buyers and
Right.
presentations and all the paperwork and all the steps that it takes. So I really wish I had some other kind of education prior to actually stepping into this because I've been doing it for a while. I know a lot more now, but man, when I first started, it was tough
Yeah.
because I'm like, what am I supposed to do? You know, so it's really a trial by fire when you jump into this real estate world because there's no school for this. Like
Yeah,
school
100.
really just teaches you the laws and the basic rules, but that other stuff, I wish I knew that, you know, before I
Yeah.
stepped into the arena because man, it was tough to get it all under. And it's still every day with every deal, you learn something different. It's never the same deal, it's never the same scenario. So even if you had the classes, you still need to learn more. But I wish I had some more background when I stepped in.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
For me, with that question, 100%, I agree. It's the same exact thing. I always hear people in real estate say things like, "Oh, it's like drinking out of a water hose, a fire hose." I mean, because it's just boom, boom, boom. Like this is what you learn in school. And what did you say? Trial by fire. Like it's
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
like you don't know anything, and
It
everybody tells you,
is.
"Oh, every deal is different." 100%. Every single deal is different. And the other thing I wish they would teach you is that it is 100% sales and understanding the psychology of that and how to
Yes.
deal with people. I didn't even realize that. I just like, oh, you know, watch HGTV, you show some houses, you do some paperwork.
Yeah.
No.
Not realistic at all.
No.
Like it's just so far from that's TV. It happens all in 30 minutes or less. You
Yes.
know, in the real world, it takes weeks and months and
Yes.
just to get to the closing table after you get a deal takes sometime 45 to 60 days.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
not that quick. It's like this microwave thing on TV, but it's really
100.
like you got to put it in the oven and cook it in the
That's a
real world.
good analogy. On TV, it's
Yeah,
microwave, but
yeah,
then
yeah.
in the real world, it's the oven or crock pot. It's
Hmm.
low and slow. You got to nurture.
Yeah,
You got to check on people. You got to help them decide what they really want. So yeah, woo, girl,
yes,
100.
definitely. Definitely.
So let's go to our next question. I'm gonna skip over here. Oh, this is a good one. Who are the three people who have been the most influential to you?
Well, I have two. I guess I want to say my first and top person is always going to be Mr. Sekou Pyle because Mr. Sekou Pyle, it's just no words to explain him.
Yeah.
There are no words to explain him. He's like a superhero because he gives and gives and gives so much of himself to
Yeah.
us every single day. 2 and 3 times a day, he spends hours with us
All
and still
day.
manages
Yeah.
to do his own thing and keep his business going. And if not for him, I don't think I would be where I am right now
Mm-hmm.
because of him, I had a whole mind shift, a mind shift thing
Yeah.
that happened because we have this thing everybody calls imposter syndrome. I suffer from it
Yeah.
big time. But dealing with Sekou and just the little tidbits of stuff that he gives us, it makes you really think that you can actually achieve these things. And
Yeah.
then when you turn around and do them, you're like, oh, okay, I actually do know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking
Right.
about. And he gives you that confidence to make you feel like that. You know, the other people, it's not even just one person, it's a group and it's the group that I've found myself in, which includes you and Lisa G and Jamira, Johnny, Harjeet. If I didn't have you guys, I don't know where I would be right now. Like, it's just, it's amazing because we have some conversations, or not even a whole conversation, but just a message in a group chat, and it's like, oh, that makes so much sense. And then you start to, it's all this stuff, well, it starts to click into place.
Yeah.
So my three people are like six. So,
Yeah.
7 people actually.
Yeah.
6 people, because that takes me out. So it's like 6 people that really motivate me. And then I read a book called The Miracle Morning, and that really kind of helped me. I don't remember the author of the book, but they give you a whole way to do your morning.
Somebody.
Edron or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Elrod or
I
something.
believe something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
They help you break down your morning, and they help you. It helps you become more productive at the end of the day, if you actually get out of bed at 5 and actually do it. Some days I do it. Some days I don't. I won't even lie. Right. But you get your get everything done, and it's just, it helps you to be much more productive. So those things have helped me get to where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for every single aspect of it.
Yeah, 100%. It is a village here. And
Definitely.
I completely agree with LaVonne. Say cool. Like, that was a blessing. Before I ever even signed with EXP as a brokerage, somebody introduced me to Mark, who was coached by Sekou. And so the very first day, like, as soon as I didn't even have my license yet. I'll take that back. I didn't have a license, but he was like, go ahead and get on. And I got on, and I was like, oh, this is great. And for somebody like me coming from the military, I'm used to making fast friends, really depending on people to get stuff done. Because when you're in the military, especially when you're overseas and stuff, you have to depend on that camaraderie, and you just have those people that you meet in the military. Like, you don't have the option to pick and choose who you get stationed with. You throwing it into it, and you got to make it work. And that's how I feel in this group. Now, you do have the choice to not be in the group or to not participate and not dive in. But I've been blessed that between you and Lisa, Jamira, Johnny, Harjeet, Liz, like everybody in the group, Miriam, everybody has been, Mark included, especially Sekou because he's the coach. But I never feel alone. I feel like I'm on a team. And I also feel like I don't have to know anything, which I don't, because I'm new. And even if you did know something, every deal changes. There's a wealth of knowledge and a depth of resources that we can depend on. We can always, and it doesn't make me feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. All I'm like is, let me do some research and I'll get back to you. Then I'm like, LaVonne, Lisa, Jamal,
exactly.
How do you do this? And it works brilliantly. It's absolutely amazing.
We all do it. We get in our group chats and we're like, hello, I need this, and everything. Like 15 people are jumping on to answer the question. You never feel like, okay, I'm going to sit here for hours and wait for somebody to respond. Somebody's responded right away.
Exactly.
So it's always felt like, I've never, and I didn't mention Miriam and all the rest of them, but everybody in the commitment to capping, it hands down, that's like the best team you ever want to get on. So if you are interested in that, we do the Appointment Academy once a month. That's a 5-day breakdown of your week, or your day, I should say. It's over 5 days. Sekou spends 5 days with you breaking down your day. Just you can see how you need to do each step. So Appointment Academy like changed so many people. Like Johnny raves about the Appointment Academy. I think
that's the first thing I ever did.
Started out, you did the Appointment Academy.
I came in on like a Thursday or a Friday or something like that. And then matter of fact, I think I might have even came in on a Sunday, and the Appointment Academy started Monday. It was right when it started. And so I just jumped right in and did the Appointment Academy, and I did it back to back. So February and March, I got to do January and February. Yeah, because when I started the Appointment Academy, I didn't have license yet. So January and February, I did the Appointment Academy, and that made the world of difference, because then I understood even what to expect. I understood, like, this is sales. This is how you're going to manage this. This is how you're going to manage your day, and, different things like that
Yeah.
If I want to learn that starting out, I probably might not even be in real estate, because I would be like, how are you supposed to do this? Because it's very challenging. You have to
It
love
is.
it and really
It is.
devote your time to it. Because even when you say, oh yeah, part-time, girl, you ain't doing no kind of part-time real estate, y'all. Don't let LaVonne fool y'all. LaVonne ain't
Exactly.
doing no part-time. She running a full-fledged business. She got sponsorees. She doing this group, that group. Don't let her fool you. Not at
And
all. Ain't nothing
that
part-time
goes
about LaVonne.
and that goes back to the first question we went to, what we wish we had before we started.
Yeah.
And I wish they had something like this in real estate school, like the Appointment Academy.
Yes.
Like that's something they really need to implement, something like that, or they need to make that available. Like Sekou needs to like make that available to a lot of people when they before they graduate. That's what class they need to have.
Yeah,
Something like that, because that is going to make a world of difference. Because like they say, the statistics say most people don't last in real estate 1 year.
Nope.
Most people drop out because they think it's HGTV easy, and it really isn't.
Yeah.
And when you get in here and you're like, wait a minute, it's just a little bit more than what I expected, and if you have that beforehand, that's going to make a world of difference. I really think that should be something that people avail themselves of before they hit. Like you did it, and I'm telling you, she had a deal before most of us that been in real estate for months and years.
Because of that though, because of you
that's
guys.
what I'm saying.
And I said, hey, finally got my license. I got an open house. Then y'all start sending me emails saying, okay, this is what you do at the open house. And one thing that I learned in the Appointment Academy before anything, which I didn't understand at the time, I was like, that makes no sense, was the 90% no. You have to know going in, everything is no, no, no. You have to get used to that. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And if if I hadn't had anybody tell me that, if I didn't go to the Appointment Academy, I wasn't in commitment to capping, and I will link all of that stuff here. If we didn't know that, I'm for real, I would have been out. I would have been like, these people crazy. I can't help them, but you have to know going in.
Exactly.
That's what you're there for. You're there to hear it, and then you have to analyze. You got to ask questions and dig deeper so you can figure out what's really going on. But I didn't know any of that.
He makes us try to get to know. He forces us to get no's.
Yeah.
Because that just builds up the resistance to hearing it. Because I'm telling you, when I first started, I was like, you said no. So I was like, I don't like that word. So, but I can deal with it a lot better now. And in New York, we have a little of a challenge because we're not allowed to make phone calls. So, until we get back to that, I haven't really heard no, because I'm not allowed to make cold calls, which is what we call them. So, once we get back into it, I'm going to do the Appointment Academy again. Yeah. Because I want to be ready and get back into the flow of it. So I'm ready. But that's definitely, it was a great question.
Yeah, that was good. So let's see here. Well, we kind of covered that. Let's do, we already kind of talked about what we wouldn't know, because we talked about, the one question was, if you could step into my shoes, what would you have asked yourself that you didn't? And we talked about the HGT.
Yeah.
The real world. So I guess this is a good question, I think, to end with, because we were talking about no, is what is your biggest failure and what did you learn from
it? I guess my biggest failure in real estate was dealing with a particular client and not having done too much. It was kind of early on, so not having done too much and not really understanding the importance of follow-up.
Okay.
So I wasn't following up like I should, and then I ended up losing a deal like that.
Oh.
So yeah, so that was kind of a failure to me. Mm-hmm. And but it also was a kick in the pants. Like you can't wait for people to get back to you. You have to keep getting in touch with them and finding out what they need, and just making sure that you're coming from a place of service, which is where I usually come from. I don't, and I'll tell anybody this who asks me, I don't do anything for money. Nothing. I know we all need money to live. We all need money to eat, dress, drive, whatever. But my motivation is not money.
Yeah.
My motivation is helping. My motivation is serving. My motivation is making sure that people are getting what they need.
Yeah.
Money comes when you do the right thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I
Yep.
always try to lead from a place of integrity and to do the right thing. So that was a big lesson for me, having to lost that deal. It was really stressful. I was like, oh, so upset. I was
Yeah.
about to quit. I was like, I'm done with this. And it was funny because a lender that I only spoke to once before called me and took me off the ledge, so to speak.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And this was before I think I met you guys. So I didn't have the background that I have now. So it was just like, just like he called me and I was like, hello, and he was like, what's wrong with you? And then he had this whole conversation with me and he explained like it's sales, like we just talked about. So it kind of helped me get past it, but it was devastating. I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute, this is not good. So that was what I consider my biggest failure.
Okay. Understood. One thing I want to piggyback on before I answer that is the money aspect. People always see these fancy real estate shows, and I mean, don't get me wrong, that's one reason I love real estate, because there is no ceiling. You can work as hard as you want or not. You get to
Right.
choose your hour. You can be flexible. You do have to work around your clients, of course, but you can adjust. And the same thing comes with the money. You can get out there and you can hustle and take a lot of clients and leads and get a lot of listings. But one thing, and I learned this even before Say Cool, I can't remember where I read it. I can't remember if it was in Gary Keller's book, the Red Real Estate book. I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember
Millionaire
if it
or
was in
something.
that or if I saw it on YouTube, but you cannot be attached to the outcome. So number one, like I don't know about y'all down here in the South, when your mom and your grandma say don't count your chickens before they hatch, you cannot count any deal because you don't ever know what's actually gonna close, what's gonna happen. Right. And so, like you said, truly you have to love it, and you have, first and foremost, you have to want to serve people. If you don't want to serve people, this is 100% a job of service. If you don't want to serve, you're just not gonna make it, because you have to have the grit to say like, oh, this went really bad. Just like you said, you had a deal that just it failed, it broke up, and you got to have enough grit to say like, that's okay, because guess what? I'll be able to help the next person. I'll follow up more with the next person.
And I learned from it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys are watching, please know this is a job of service. Like I think one of my mission statements, I say like, I served my country, now I want to serve my community, because it's 100% true. Like you out here, I feel like I got boots on and like I'm hustling and hiking and really trying to help, people get what they want. Like it's really special to be a part of helping somebody's dream come true, or helping somebody.
Yeah.
Like that's so exciting, man. That's so, when you get because it's one of the biggest purchases somebody will ever make. And to be a part of that, to walk through that journey with them,
that's the truth.
It's awesome. That there is no better feeling, and it's not like you say, it's not about the money. It's about digging deep and serving people, even when you getting cussed out, when you're getting hung up on. And I'll transition that into my biggest failure thus far is not. I can't really say that. So maybe you have to learn, like we talked about earlier, to ask the right questions. And I had a deal that didn't close. And I feel like I asked questions, but I should have dug deeper. And you can't, in this industry, this is what I learned from this deal that fell through, is you have to ask the hard questions. And you have to, like we said earlier, you got to be uncomfortable with asking people the uncomfortable questions. Like you really got to get down and dirty. You have to get into people's business. You have to get into their finances, into their credit. And it can be very vulnerable. People are very, they feel on guard about their credit, on guard about their finances,
Yeah.
how much money they have saved, how much they may have in their 401k. But you have to be good with being uncomfortable asking those questions. And with the deal that I had fall through, I asked questions, but I should have dug deeper. Even when I felt like, man, I really should just say, look, what does your credit look like? What does your finance, how much money do you actually have saved? On top of that money, are you able to, pull money from anywhere else? Those type of things. And I felt awkward, but again, it's service. So I have to put aside my feelings and I have to truly look out for the best interest of the people that I'm serving. And looking out for their best interest says, ask the tough questions, get all up in their business. It's not about being nosy. It's about preparing them, because it's a beast out here in this market, especially if you're a buyer. You have to be prepared. You got to be prepared to bridge the gap with their appraisal gap. You have to be prepared to eat. Like when we get to talk with our friends in North Carolina, they have due diligence. Like you have to be prepared to have these hard conversations so that your clients have expectations that are manageable. And I felt like I didn't ask the right questions and I didn't manage my clients' expectations the way I should have. So lesson learned. Now I got a whole buyer's work list, checklist. I got everything. Like I'm asking all the questions, and I really, even if it's hard, I want them to know, like, hey, I want you to be prepared 100% for.
Right, and I want to get you to the end of the line. I don't want you to get so far and then nothing happens.
Yeah, because that's what happened to me. I was 2 days from closing, and my client wasn't able to close. And so if I had been more aggressive with all the questions, and I can't say yay or nay, but I feel like if I had just got in there and asked some more questions, maybe I could have come to the conclusion, like, we're going to have to go back to the lender and present this to the lender so we can figure out the best way to work around this. Because to me, that's the other thing. We're problem solvers. We can always figure out a solution. And like I said, I don't know, but I just go in the WhatsApp group, I pick up the phone, I call one in. How do I work around this? And so, I feel like I had to learn to be more aggressive with the questions. So now when people call and they're like, hey, I want to buy a house, I need your help. Immediately, I'm deep diving into finances, into credit, into savings, so that I could prepare my client.
Yeah, that's definitely a good lesson, because you get to a point where it's like, I'm 2 days away from closing, and then boom. Yep. So yeah, that's definitely a lesson. That's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
But we both had some hard lessons, but it made us better, because we now know what we need to do differently.
100%.
And so we could serve the next person and the person after that one even better. So failure is not always failure. Sometimes it's just something you have to go through to get to the next one.
And you learn, right? You learn. It builds character if it doesn't do anything else. And that's the other thing, like, without failing, you can never be successful. I think it's Oprah that always says, like, the most successful people fail the most, because you gotta fail to get to where you're going, or else you'll never
get. You don't fail, do you even know that you succeeded? I mean,
that's true.
You know what it looks like. Because you think everything is good, but if you've seen some stuff that didn't go right, then you know, okay, well, this is pretty good from what I came from. So you actually get to see what the difference is, So everybody has some type of failure in their life. We're not going to skate by that. We're all going to have to deal with it on some level. So it's better to do it early and get it over with.
And learn from it.
So you can go on to the next thing.
That's
sure. For sure. That's definite. This was a great interview.
Oh my goodness, it was so. I love this setup too. This is good. Oh, I make sure I share this and we put it with the women's mastermind too. This is so good. I'm so glad.
Yes. So if anybody has any questions, they can definitely reach out to us on. We're gonna post this in Facebook, Instagram.
I'm gonna post all the links. I'm putting it on YouTube too. Yep, I'm gonna do it everywhere.
Okay, so then we'll be able to come back and answer any questions you might have.
Yep.
We'll put our emails, phone numbers, websites, all that stuff will be in the contacts. So reach out if you have any questions. We're here to help. Let us know.
Exactly. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, Andrea.
Awesome.
No problem.
All right, let me stop.